It's
Let me
time.
switch over here, and there we go. Okay, so we're finally back with Genshin Impact. It's been another... Thank you so much. I really need the enthusiasm. It's been another somewhat long hiatus for it. I feel like every time I stop playing Genshin, I take a hiatus.
Yeah, there's...
But every time I start playing Genshin again, I'm like, oh, I should play way more Genshin.
Yeah, honestly. And then we just don't.
And then I just don't. So, for now, I have a game plan for this stream because I think at least I'm finishing the Sumeru storyline.
Okay.
But I'm gonna start that in a bit. I'm gonna let people kind of trickle in who want to watch, and I'm gonna do, like, preliminary stuff first.
Okay.
So what I've done here, I've made a new little team called Short Kings. And I think I've set up what should work out with who I have available to be a decent Wanderer team. I never got... I think it's Layla? No. It was Farzan. I never got Farzan, who was like the tailor-made support for Wanderer. But I think pairing him in with Bennett, Xingqiu, and Kazuha should work out. So I've been, like, somewhat building Scaramouche. He's not super perfect yet, but I am going to go through and do a few little rounds of his artifact domain, which has been very mean to me, with some condensed resin to see what we get, see if I can do a little bit more building with him. Then I'm going to do some rolls on the limited banner. I'll pick one of them. I'm leaning towards Nahida's banner, because that will allow me to get what I need to actually ascend Scaramouche, because I need the Dust of Azoth. That'll change gems over from to the right color. And then I'll be able to ascend him. There we go.
Upon the gate.
Everybody stand back!
Wind strike. Search for it. That's far enough. Cry louder.
Meanwhile, Twitch, I am attempting Nier Automata again, solo.
It's working a lot better, so I think some of your technical difficulties might be over.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Wind rises.
Oh, come on.
Upon the gate.
Let me read your verse.
Swallow fury. Know your place. As one with wind and cloud, wind rises. Upon the gate.
Know my sword. Ring cutter.
Behold.
Okay. So that goes a lot slower than it does with my main teams, but Scaramouche is not super built. So I'm hoping that having a well-built Bennett, Xingqiu, and Kazuha should be able to carry him until I get him, like, up and running on his own.
Yeah.
That is a 5-star feather for his set, but it is not as good as the 4-star feather I have equipped on him. Which, sad, but okay. It'd be like that sometimes. Oh, I can probably show what he's actually, like, running with. So, I need more of his gems to actually level him up. I need one more of those mushrooms, which I can easily go and grab. The gems is the big, like, problem.
Yeah.
So that's what I need the Dust of Azoth for, which I need to make wishes for, which I have plenty of primos and nothing I'm, like, particularly saving for, so I can try for Nahida to do it. I need to... His weapon is good so far, I just need to get it the last ascension on it, which I don't have time to do right now. But that'll...
Right.
I'll do it later. It'll happen eventually. On artifacts, I couldn't get a good flower on his set, but I have plenty of, like, decent flowers and feathers I've been saving, so that can be its off-piece. Feather, best I could find was this one that had crit damage as, like, one of its things, but it never rolled it, so I need to replace it anyway, but it's still a 4-star, so I need to replace it regardless.
Gotcha.
He got a nice attack stance because it rolled crit damage a lot.
Yeah.
This was the only goblet I could get with animo damage bonus in his set. I think I have one other, but it's like HP or something. And it's... I wish it had crit rate or crit damage, but it's got energy recharge and elemental mastery, which I think are gonna be okay. His headpiece has healing bonus as a main stat, but hear me out, it's the only thing I could get in his set with crit rate, crit damage, and attack percent.
Yeah.
So that it's on the block to be upgraded, but first the domain has to be nice to me and give me literally
Yeah.
anything I can work with.
That's, like, the one thing, because, like, let's be honest, what those are pure loot boxes.
Exactly, it's pure loot boxes, and, like, the amount of
And-
times that it gives you things that just will not work, not just for the character you're working on, but they won't work for anybody, it's, like, almost demoralizing.
It really is, and, like, okay, there are definitely much worse examples of loot boxes.
Oh, absolutely, and, like,
But,
at least
like-
this one doesn't, like, take money, but it does take your time and your effort.
Yeah. And, like, talking about, like, on that subject, though, like, that's not to say that I don't play... I play plenty of games that do have loot boxes, like, Final Fantasy has loot boxes, but, like, what I find nice about Final Fantasy is
Yeah.
that there are always other motivations for running that content.
Exactly, yeah. Because, like, the end of a dungeon, you're right, the, like, all the loot at the end of it, that's a loot box, and you have to fight other players
Yeah.
to get it.
Exactly. But like and even when you're doing stuff like Palace of the Dead,
Yeah, that's all randomized.
that's all randomized, ergo a loot box,
Yeah.
and it's free. But like again, the nice thing about those is that they make sure that there are other reasons why you should be doing that content.
Exactly, yeah.
Like if you're sure I could be going into a dungeon repeatedly for a specific piece of gear, but also I'm getting XP at the same time.
You're getting character experience, you're leveling up a class you've not used yet.
Exactly. Like there's plenty of motivation to do that. Genshin really doesn't give you that.
Yeah, like, the only thing is maybe I'm, like, competing with myself to beat my best time on this, like, challenge fight. Also, right now I'm getting
Yeah.
experience playing with a character I have not really, like, actually played before.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the only other thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah, it's one of the few things that, like, makes me not want to return to Genshin as much as other games nowadays. But, like, don't get me wrong, I'm still greatly enjoying Genshin.
yeah, and like alright, it's a free game. What are you gonna do?
Exactly,
But, like,
yeah.
Time to act.
Wind strike.
Teamwork is strength. Rain outline.
Okay, I need to... Hang on. There we go.
Swarm Fury.
Okay, cool.
Clouds high. The birds come.
Almost had Scaramouche die, and I can't have that right now.
Yeah,
That would suck. This is his domain. It is for him.
it's my hole. It was made for me.
It was made for him! This is his hole! Okay, so pairing him in with Xingqiu is very good. And that part of this is working out. Bennett is just good all of the time, and I think Kazuha is just my put this on a bad team so it can carry it character. And he's doing his job.
Honestly, one of these days I should roll for Kazuha.
You would really enjoy Kazuha.
Every time that he's an option as, like...
There's, like,
an
some
event.
other thing that stops you. Either it's a better character about to come out, or, like, you just rolled for a better character who's more important
and,
to
like,
you.
It's kind of sad, because, like, every time I get the chance to play as him, I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, like, he's a delight.
Like, he runs so smooth. Like...
Yeah, like, one of the best characters they've, like, released. Mr. Kazuha.
Yeah, like... His kit's just really it's easy to figure out and use.
Okay, that's a maybe on the feather. Okay, I'm gonna run this one more time and just use, like, regular resin, because it costs 20 to do it. And then do some wishes, and then see about maybe seeing if I can ascend Scaramouche, hopefully. I think I will be able to, regardless. And then story.
Okay.
Wind strike. As one with wind and cloud. Swarm Fury. You're dead.
Oh, fuck. Hang on. Okay. Phew.
Rain outlines your fate. Teamwork is teamwork.
Cry loud.
Let's light it up. Let me read you a book. No, my sword.
Clouds high. The birds come. Wind strike. Time to go. Wind rises. Know your place. Swarm Fury.
Rain cutter.
Wind strike.
Hang on. There we go.
Let's light it up.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
There we go. This is my Kazuha. This is my problem solver right here. Alright.
God, like... And, like, one of the reasons that I don't pull for Kazuha is because I do have Venti,
Yeah.
who works fairly similarly.
They're similar, mostly in the way that they are both animo and have crowd control. But their
Yeah.
gameplays are still different enough that it's... I would still recommend pulling for, like, both, even if you have one or the other.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always tempted to pull for Venti, because he seems like a fun little guy.
Yeah, no, Venti is my problem. And, like, okay, that's easy for me to say because I have the most broken Venti ever.
Yeah,
but-
you built a very nice Venti. Alright, where am I going? I'm going to the map.
Come on.
I have to find a fun little spot to wish from.
For which one?
For Nahida. I think I'm gonna go to where, like, I'm supposed to start my next part of the quest. And I'll wish for her there.
Clear weather all around, brightens the heart.
Oh, hang on. The quest location is currently involved in something else. In the start of contamination. Okay. Okay.
Do you have an NPC that's busy doing something else?
It says the location is... Ah, here we go. Okay, so... Talk to Nahida. Guess I got some says. Interesting, okay. So the starting contamination is Tignati's story quest. So I guess I have to go and do that for a little bit, but I'm gonna go, like, up
They
here.
make you do take time? That's interesting.
Well, it depends on, like, how much of everything you've started at different times. So, like, I'm unlocking a lot of the character quests just
True.
on a whim so that I have them available when I want to do them. Which, like,
Okay.
speaking of, I probably need to look to see how many, like, story quests... That's not the thing I'm looking at. How many, like, story quests are unlocked or not.
Right.
Okay, so Nahida has 2 quests, Alhaitham has a quest, and Dia has a quest, but I have to complete prerequisite quests before I can even unlock them.
Right.
Alright, well, in a minute I'll go do as much of Tignati's story quest as I have to. But for now... Wishes. So I do have exactly 10 wishes on the standard banner as well. I'm gonna look at what my history on here is. So 5, 10... It's only giving me 19 of my history. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, I got a free Kaya. That's rarer than most of the 4-star characters. I'll have to see how many constellations he has. Because that might be his 5th, or it might even be his 6th constellation. But for now, on Miss Nahida's banner, I think I've done 20 wishes exactly. Yeah, I've done exactly 20 wishes since I rolled Wanderer.
Okay. Oh, so I am already back to where we stopped earlier today on Nier.
Yeah, see? And that took you, like, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's... Even with some of this lag that I am dealing with.
Yeah. Alright, let's
Like,
see
it
how we
comes
do.
and goes, but...
Okay. Okay, so this one's just gonna have a 4-star. Oh, Miss Layla! I have not rolled her yet, so... Because I've been missing, like, several of these patches.
Yeah. Are blowing up the Discord. Why?
Who's
Why
blowing
you
up
do
the
this?
Discord?
Who is blowing? Oh, it's Hawk.
Ah! It's the absolute best scenario for me. We go off-banner, we get Farazan. But I know that's not gonna happen, because this game's really mean to me. Also, I'm on a 50-50, so the chances of me even getting Nahida, even though I have like 50 wishes to throw into this, just for funsies, chances are low to get, like, the banner character. But never 0.
So is Baiju back?
Baiju is coming in on the second half of this patch.
So
So the patch like
okay.
just dropped. So next patch is going to be Baiju, and I forget who else is going to be on banner with him. But they are also going to have Kaveh as the 4-star, or as one of the 4 stars.
I'm debating it, but apparently I need to update the game again.
Oh, are you going back into Genshin?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. I'm still playing Nier, but I didn't realize a new patch had come out.
Yeah. Patch just dropped like a couple of days ago. I think my 4-star on this was, it was just Rust. Okay. I think I've got 2 more. Alright, that's my 3rd Layla.
Now she's Cryo?
Yeah, she's Cryo.
I thought she was Hydro for some reason.
Probably the blue color scheme.
Because like do we have a Hydro Lancer now?
I don't think we've gotten a Hydro Lancer yet. That's one of the weapon and element combinations that's still missing.
Huh.
Oh, Widsith. Nice. Oh, another Layla. So that's 4 of her? Nice. Alright, and I think I've got like 2 single pulls I can do. Or actually, let's go into the shop and see, let's get what we can for right now. So, I need in the Stardust Exchange, here we go, Dust of Azoth. I'm gonna get like 5 of these. And then Star Glitter. And then that. And that. Okay, cool.
Tutorial?
Hmm?
I'm wondering if I was at the end of that tutorial.
I know where the tutorial ends, and I'm going to hear you react to it when you get to the end of it, so no.
Well, I mean, like, I had to go a little bit further, but I wonder if I could have finished it.
I'm not sure. Oh, excellent. That got me enough wishes for a bonus temple. Oh, and that's pity.
Oh, am I gonna have to fight 2 of these things?
Probably. Let's see what we fucking got here. Oh, Mr. Technati. He has a new voice now, and a bonus Layla.
Already replaced all of his lines?
I don't know that they've replaced every single one of his lines. Actually, I have him, and we can go in and see if how much has been, like, implemented while we activate that constellation. Okay, so Mr. Kaya... That's his last con! I have a C6 Kaya! Alright, so now his ult gets 1 additional, icicle. Fuck yeah. Alright, Tignati. Charged attack crit rate increase. Okay, nice. And let me see here. Profile. Yeah, so his voice actor's officially been changed on here to Zachary Gordon.
If you press a leaf between dry sheets of paper, you can make an attractive and handy bookmark. Happy birthday. I picked out a potted plant in full bloom for you, along with a gardening guide. If anything happens to it, don't hesitate to find me at any time. This plant comes with a Forest Watcher lifetime guarantee. I'll have you know, a lot of flowers are in season on your birthday. It took me forever to choose one. I'll get you a different species next year.
Excellent. So I'm not sure how much in, like, storylines will have been changed, but we'll probably find out when we go and do his story quest in a minute here. Oh, I think I still have... Oh, that's right. I need to go find Layla in here and activate all of her new constellations. So it looks like I rolled her 5 times total, so she's at C4 now. Wow. And I'll look at what all those do later, because I don't know what her kit is. Alright, so... Why do I still have a character? Oh, I have this. Because this is going to tell me. Ooh, I have Layla now. No. Okay, cool. And then I've got a thing up here, probably for the doing 50 wishes. Boom. Cool. Got me a level there, weapon material.
Scenery is wonderful.
Alright. So now we can do the last ascension on Scaramouche that I want to do for now. I'll get his, like, actual last ascension probably way later off streams. So I just need to go over here. I need 3 of this. I have like 5 Geo ones sitting around. So there we go. Alright. And back up here. Oh right, I need 1 mushroom. I think somehow one of the characters I ascended used like a single mushroom. And now I have to go get a new one.
Oh, this guy looks familiar.
What guy?
This robot I have to fight.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Hey, there's the mushroom.
Relax.
Alright, and there's that. And I'll go ahead and level him up. And there we go. Now he's level 80. Excellent. Now we have to go talk to Tignati until I am allowed to do anything else. Alright, let's see if this is the new guy.
This is where you've been, Tighnari? That's...
There we go, we can autoplay.
Keep your voice down.
Tighnari, everything's spinning. Am I going to die? Tell Mom that I should have listened to her. And tell Suna that I'm sorry for breaking her toy. I didn't
Dang, this
tell
guy
her
has a lot of
because
HP.
I was scared that she wouldn't play with me anymore. Tighnari, I heard that people turn into birds after they die. Is that true? I feel like I'm getting lighter.
What happened? Tighnari, is he?
Okay, enough nonsense. You just have a small fever.
Okay,
Take
yeah,
your
this is the
medication
new
and
voice
rest.
actor, I think.
You'll be bouncing
Excellent.
off the walls in no time.
Really? Then can you keep the thing about the toy a secret for now?
No can do. You're a big kid now. Once you've recovered, go and apologize. Keeping secrets to yourself won't solve anything.
Oh.
Hey, let me ask you something. I recall that you're usually pretty healthy. How did you get this sick all of a sudden?
I don't know either. Mom's been telling me not to play in the forest. I just wanted to look inside. It's different from before. I got lost and went around in a huge circle. After I got out, I started feeling dizzy.
Could it be?
So that's how this whole mess happened. Anyway, go rest. No running around until I say so. Got it? Traveler, Paimon. Let's step out for now.
Mr. Forest Watcher, how is my son?
I gave him some antipyretics. Let him rest here for a while. I told him that he would feel better after some medicine and rest. But I only said that to comfort him. His symptoms resemble a fever, but something else is causing them. They seem more akin to a disruption in his psyche. Antipyretics won't be of much use.
What do we do? Mr. Forest Watcher, you have to help him.
If memory serves, a plant called Vasanti grass can help soothe the mind. A small number grow in arid deserts. They usually look like shriveled weeds, but can be revitalized with a splash of water. They're expensive and unable to grow.
I was
in
wondering
the
if I failed
forest's
that.
climate, so I don't have any on hand. I'll ask the caravans.
But maybe not.
Go find Kale. Have her prepare medicinal tools and a set of traveling gear for me.
All right. Thank you.
Contaminated region. Is that why you two are also here?
Yep. Is it a new withering zone?
Doesn't seem like one. Whether you look at scale, internal conditions, or resultant effects, they're completely different. The only thing they have in common is that they aren't welcome. This nuisance made itself home in the Avidia forest, so I can't turn a blind eye.
We feel the same way.
All right, let's contact the caravans first and purchase some Vasanti grass. We can also ask about the contaminated region. There's no time to waste. We have to move quickly. Let's go.
Okay, so excellent. They've replaced all his voice lines in his character quest. So we don't have to fucking listen to him. So I'm gonna keep checking this. And yeah, so it's... yeah, quest location currently involved in the start of contamination. Okay, cool. So we're just gonna keep following this quest. There we go.
Excuse me. I'd like to purchase some Vasanti grass. Do you have any?
I'm sorry, Mr. Forest Watcher, but we've been closed for the past few days.
Closed? Now that's odd. It's my first time hearing you say something like that.
It's a long story. Some of our goods were stolen recently. They were mechanical parts that we got from the academia. Although they're old models, they still fetch a good price on the market. Our caravans had to pull together Mora to afford those parts. Now that they've been lost, we'll likely come up short this trip. All the merchants talked it over, and we decided to raise the prices of our remaining inventory. Until this plan takes effect, none of us can privately sell anything.
I don't get it. If these goods are so important, then why not think of a way to get them back? Raising prices won't solve anything. At best, you're shoving the consequences of the robbery onto your customers.
Mr. Forest Watcher, it's not that we don't want to. It's just the thief disappeared into the deepest parts of the forest. We asked around, and apparently the forest has been very unusual as of late. Anyone who goes in experiences mental anomalies. We can't keep waiting out here for the thief to come out. All we could do is come up with another solution.
So, the bandit hid in the contaminated region after stealing those mechanical parts? How many people were there in total? Were they not affected by the contaminated region?
That crook came from the contaminated region. As for how many, there weren't any people.
No people?
Even if I tell you, you might not believe me. Fine. The thief that stole our parts was a huge mechanical crab.
What the heck? The Avidia Forest has creatures like that?
To be honest, I'd rather not think about it. It moved too skillfully to be new at this. It came out of nowhere. Before we could react, it swiped our goods and ran away. We were all shocked. By the time we came to our senses, the thief was already long gone.
I see. If we help you retrieve your stolen goods, then business will return to normal?
Oh, but of course! Not only that, but you'll become one of our caravan's VIPs on all future purchases of any...
Enough. Tell me something that's actually useful. Any leads on that mechanical crab?
Maybe one. After our goods were stolen, we specifically got someone to assess the situation. If you're interested, you can go and talk to them.
All right. We'll go and have a word.
After the goods were stolen, I made multiple inquiries with nearby caravans and residents. Turns out that many others have also been robbed by that crooked crab. However, Crab only seems to be interested in machinery. Doesn't even bat an eye at other valuables. The caravan carrying a large amount of Mora had an uneventful trip. Another caravan had a child whose metal toy was taken. Whatever the case, that thing is a scourge. We'll eventually think of a way to get rid of it.
That mechanical crab is fast, strong, and a pain to deal with. 10 of us might not even be able to take that thing head on. Didn't Academia ban research on mechanical life forms years ago? Where did that thing come from? Our salaries even got slashed because of it. Who would have thought that that robber wasn't a human, but a mechanical crab? This is rough.
Too slow.
I heard from the caravanners that there have been a lot of robberies lately, but we haven't been affected. We don't normally see the mechanical crab, and it doesn't disturb our daily lives. It only shows up when the caravans are here, and it runs back to the contaminated region after it's done making a mess.
You haven't tried capturing it?
We have, but it's too agile and fast. However, we did unexpectedly learn something the last time we tried to capture it. It apparently lives in the deepest part of the forest, so instead of immediately moving its spoils, it first hides them nearby. Once its stash grows large enough, it moves everything in one go. You'll have to move fast if you want those goods back.
How are things? Did you make any progress?
We learned of its behaviors, but much still remains unclear. Assuming normal operational status, Mechanical constructs generally act according to their given commands. If I were its owner, I'd command it to steal more valuable things, or the Mora you made. That would be the most efficient method. But it only goes after mechanical components. This doesn't make any sense.
Right. It's really weird.
So, you all found a way to retrieve our goods?
Do you have any more mechanical parts with you?
Yes, I still have a small bag of samples. They weren't taken since I keep them on me at all times. Oh, are you planning to...
Under constant external conditions, organisms rarely initiate changes in their habits. Here's what we know so far. It has mechanical composition, it lives in the contaminated region, and it comes out to steal mechanical components. If we have said components, we can lure it out, capture it, and then make observations for further conclusions. Well, chatting like this won't get us anywhere. We're only wasting time.
You're right. We don't have any other options right now. This bag of samples is all yours, Mr. Forest Watcher. If you can get our goods back, the caravans will reward you generously.
We don't need anything in return, but I'll be keeping this bag. I may have other uses for it later. We'll also need to borrow a sumpter beast. Our act has to be convincing if we want the crab to fall for it.
Oh, yeah, no problem at all. If it means getting our things back, you can even borrow me to do whatever you need.
I'll have to decline that offer. Anyway, we'll use the mechanical components and Sumpter Beast to pose as a transiting caravan and lure out the crab. Once it appears, capture it. I leave the timing to you.
Don't worry, we're professionals.
Oh.
Oh?
Well, he didn't last as long as I thought he would.
Who?
9S.
Oh yeah. Don't worry about it. He's actually fine.
Like, I kind of figure.
Yeah, he's your silly little guy, but yeah.
Too slow. Quit following me.
Looking at the trade routes and the contaminated region's current perimeter, the goods were likely stolen somewhere around here.
Then let's get to it. We'll definitely capture that criminal crab.
Okay, we'll start from here and have the Sumpter Beast with the components on board lead the way. This Sumpter Beast isn't familiar with us yet, so be calm and take your time with it.
The Sumpter Beast went ahead. Let's keep up with it.
Oh, I do love these little creatures. He's just a guy. He looks like a Muppet.
Same. Yeah, I do love them. Hate that some of them will just attack you, though.
Or maybe it's
I mean, I get it.
the caravan.
All right, moving
Oh.
again.
Oh, I need these. Oh, he's moving at speed. Oh, never mind. He stopped. Aha! We found the crab.
Did you hear something? Ah! Is that the mechanical crab the caravan was talking about? It's charging straight at us!
It looks strong. Be careful. Wind strike. Wretched vermin. Wind rises. Ha! Ja! Yeah! Ha! Ah! Ka! Ha! Ha! Ka! Ha! Ja!
Rain.
doesn't seem capable of comprehending complex questions. Keep an eye on it. I'll search around the area for the caravan's goods. I don't know why you're stealing mechanical parts, but they don't belong to you. Stolen items must be returned to their rightful owners. Any objections? You came from the depths of the contaminated region, right? How about you help us with something? If you take us there, I'll give you some mechanical parts as a reward.
It reacted.
Can't be certain yet. Its excitement may be a simple programmed response upon seeing mechanical components.
Okay, so you want the crowd to lead us into the contaminated region?
That's right. The contaminated region has a large and currently expanding perimeter, so it would be difficult to conduct a thorough search. If we charge straight in, we'll get lost like headless pigeons. Also, our new friend here seems to be full of secrets. I've been studying this contaminated region recently, and I have a hypothesis of my own. So to be absolutely safe, it would be best to have a guide lead the way.
Paimon gets it now. Does this scuttler understand what you're saying?
It doesn't have to, as long as it isn't hostile towards us. I gave it some components that it will definitely take back to the contaminated region. So long as it doesn't attack us, we can simply follow along.
It seems to be really happy.
Listen to me. Wait for us here. No running off. We'll be back soon. If you're still here when we return, I'll give you another mechanical part as a reward. Understood? I'm not sure. But our priorities are to retrieve the mechanical components and to purchase Vasanti grass to make medicine with. We should return. But before we do, we need to set up a few traps. Can't have that crab escaping.
Okay, so we go back.
Oh, Saber, you under there? Yeah, you are. There you are. Hi.
It's almost her dinner time, so I'm probably gonna have to take a very brief break in a minute here to feed her. Oh, okay. Hi, Saber. You're on the desk now. You can be on the desk if you can behave. There you go. Good job.
Oh! These are the mechanical
Love that we're
parts
just beating this
stolen.
giant
You really
robot
got
with his
them
own
back
arm.
for us.
Yeah, it's really good.
Thank you all so very
It's a good
much.
game.
I don't know how I can repay you. Wait, didn't you want to purchase Vasanti grass? Don't worry about the price. They're on the house. How many do you need?
2 is enough.
No, that won't do. Here, I'll throw in some more.
No need. I've already received a reward from you.
Reward? You mean that bag of mechanical parts? They aren't worth much compared to this merchandise.
But those parts are very useful to me. Just like the Vasanti grass. I retrieved the things you needed, and you gave me what I needed in return. We're even. Oh, and before we go, just a reminder. The forest has an intricate and biodiverse ecosystem. Even if there were no mechanical crabs, other dangers are still present. Take caution on this route.
Noted. Thank you all ever so much.
Let's return to the village. The earlier we can give the child medicine, the sooner he'll start feeling better.
Saber, are you purring?
You're being a sweet little baby. Yeah, you are.
Alright.
I hear her little collar jiggle.
Yeah, she got a little bell now. Because she's so cute. Alright.
I've got a sharp tongue. I just tell it like it is. If so
Okay, I got like 10 minutes before I have to feed her because that's actually her dinner time. She just thinks her dinner time should be whenever she thinks it is. So I'm gonna,
She's right.
She's a little bit right. Mwah.
Oh, well, okay.
Hi there, Traveler.
Oh.
Paimon.
Um,
I prepared the pharmaceutical equipment. Do you need me to help grind the medicine?
no need. A precise
alright, I
dosage
guess both
required this
protagonists
time,
are dead now.
So I'll do it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh. Okay.
But once I'm done, you can deliver the medication to the child. He gets a little nervous when I'm around for too long.
Hi,
I
Saber.
don't
Not the
think he
keyboard.
finds me very approachable. I'll go prepare the medication.
Hey.
Traveler,
Hey,
give me a hand.
Saber.
How is he? Doing any better?
Saber, you are purring so loudly.
I feel like he's doing a lot better. And his temperature is returning to normal. It's wonderful! Oh yeah, he asked me to tell you that Suna came by earlier. And he told her everything about the toy. Suna didn't get mad, so he wanted to thank you. Can I ask what happened?
I can save.
It's nothing.
Yeah, there you go. Now you can save.
Did you prepare the traveling gear that I asked you to?
Of course I did. Are you going somewhere far away?
Yes, we're going to the contaminated region. Judging by its size, we will likely have to stay overnight. I'm leaving everything to you while I'm gone.
Huh? But I can't even begin to compare to you.
Many things are learned by doing, and once they've been done, you'll realize that they weren't as difficult as you once thought they were. Deal with problems as you yourself see fit. You don't have to emulate me.
That's right. You'll do great, Kale. All right, then I'll do my best. Master, Traveler, Paimon, take care of yourselves.
Saber, can I get to my mouse? Thank you.
Yeah, you put too much confidence in me.
Okay.
Anyway, like you said, things
You
will
can
likely
sit there,
be
I guess.
uneventful. Let's return and find that crab.
Okay, she's getting really, really needy. I'm gonna really quick do a little BRB screen. That's the wrong one. That one. I'm gonna go feed my cat and I'll be right back. You're giving me like maybe 5 minutes, but yeah, I'll be right back. Saber, can I please? Thank you. Alright, we are back. And we go back to... Hang on, am I still... Hang on. Wrong thing. Am I still locked out of the story quest? Please don't make me do all of Tignati's quest. Please don't. I don't want to have to do all of Tignati's quest.
We're here. It should be... Huh? Where's the crab? Did it secretly scuttle away?
The traps weren't triggered, so it should still be here. Odd. You honored our agreement and waited here until we returned. As such, I'll hold up my end and give you another mechanical part. Keep it safe. I'm not giving you another one if you lose it. Glad you're satisfied. If you want more mechanical parts,
They make
take
you
us
go
deeper
through and
into the
adjust all your
contaminated
settings
region.
anyway?
I wanna
Yeah.
see what happened there.
After the tutorial, it lets you like go through and adjust all your settings just to make sure everything like works well after you've already had a little bit of gameplay to like see what or how you're feeling.
So this is the contaminated region that everyone's been talking about. Oh, it definitely looks different from normal. It's like really creepy and suffocating.
Do you feel unwell at all?
Self-destruct?
Do what?
Good. It's as I predicted. Elemental power confers a degree of resistance against the contaminated region's influence.
Why is one of the settings self-destruct?
You
Well, I
can
haven't
find
entered the
out.
contaminated region for a proper investigation, but I've conducted quite a few controlled experiments. My observations during our time here have all but confirmed my hypothesis. Look at these flowers. How are they different from normal? This flower species is formerly known as the Sumeru rose, but it is also known as the leyline lodestar. They're sensitive to ley lines and emit varying amounts of light in response. Excessive brightness indicates a dangerous level of ley line activity in the surrounding area. From the looks of things, the ley lines around here are already out of control.
You're saying the contamination here is coming from ley lines?
I can't confirm that right now, but I think that is the case. Let's take another look around and see if we can discover more clues.
You know, we haven't seen any animals this entire time. The birds used to chirp really loudly, and there were a lot of foxes.
The contaminated region currently appears to have a critical efflux of ley line energy, which is probably the root cause of the patient's cognitive disturbances. Some animals have keen awareness. They sensed something abnormal in this area and fled.
Leaky ley lines sure can cause a lot of damage, huh?
Like how plants have preferred growth conditions, we also gradually habituate to our surrounding environment. Climate, temperature, humidity, intensity of ley line energies. When people live under fixed conditions, they reach a sort of homeostasis with their environment. This equilibrium is broken when the surrounding environment abruptly changes, causing people's bodies to react in abnormal ways. If normal fluctuations in temperature occur, then our bodies automatically adjust. However, the average person cannot adapt to changes in ley line energy, and so they fall ill.
Then why are we okay?
I'm not sure why you are, but she and I are fine because our elemental capabilities allow us to adapt to this kind of change. Of course, it's not a good idea to spend too much time in areas with concentrated ley line energy. The only one who can freely traverse this place is probably the mechanical crab. That's about it for the investigation. Help me find an open space. I want to test something.
Do what?
Nier has a fishing minigame?
There is a fishing minigame! Listen, like, all really good games have a fishing minigame.
Normal.
That's why Final Fantasy XIV's good, that's why Genshin's good, that's why Nier's good.
A
Fishing.
purification device I made. It can absorb excess ley line energy and temporarily stabilize an area.
What a neat thing! Let's set up more and cover the entire region!
I wouldn't mind if that would actually work. Unfortunately, once this contamination is present, It isn't something that a few purification devices can fix. The purification devices have their limits. At best, they can only prevent the contaminated region from expanding temporarily. If we want to permanently eradicate the contamination from the ley line effluents, we'll need to tackle the source. That's right.
Huh? The mechanical crab is acting a little strange.
Something's approaching. So that's it. Now that the ley line energy is stabilized, the monsters that had left are starting to return. Get rid of them quickly. Don't let them get close to the purification device.
Time to know my sword.
Oh, okay, that was easy. I was hoping for more combat.
That's all of them. Hey! Where are you? Wait for us! Let's hurry and keep up. The mechanical crab went that way. Let's keep up.
Help! Help!
Bow your head!
Witness the power.
Squall Fury!
Just gonna float towards this guy. Hang on.
Gotta float.
There we go. Just hovered over him menacingly instead of sitting there and helping him.
Please spare me!
Hey, are you okay?
These injuries are superficial. Don't move. I'll patch you up.
Who are you all? What happened to those mechanical monsters?
Don't worry, we took care of them.
Oh, good. That's good. It's a monster! Hurry, attack it!
How do we explain this? Krabby here isn't a bad guy. It heard you shouting for help and brought us here to rescue you.
It's faking it. It has to be. Maybe it's gonna partner up with the other mechanical monsters and kill me. Do you know what's inside the forest? It's all crawling with mechanical freaks. I just came here to pick herbs, but I accidentally went to the contaminated region and almost died. I gotta get out of here. Yes. Yes. I have to escape. Be careful. These mechanical life forms are up to no good. It'd be best if you stayed far, far away from them. No wonder the Academia wanted to completely ban the existence of mechanical life forms. Those things should be annihilated.
Are you okay?
His inarticulate speech and bodily tremors indicate psyche disruption. He's been inside the contaminated region for too long. We've purified the ley line energy over there. Follow this path out and you'll soon see the village. When he gets to the village, someone will bring him to Kale for help. I already prepared medication that will return him to normal. So, you think you did a good job and want a part as your reward, huh?
It's so hard to understand.
Alright. Regardless of what you're thinking, you did some real good this time. That's why I'll give you another mechanical part. Need any help with it? Guess not. Well, make sure to hang on to it. What was going through your owner's mind when he made you? I wonder. You're like a giant mechanical crab on the outside and a fluffy little hamster on the inside. And also, how do you feel about that person saying that you're as evil as the other mechanical life forms?
Okay, it definitely doesn't understand you.
It seems like it possesses limited understanding, only towards matters related to mechanical components. Help others to get parts, that's probably its thought process. As for why it, rather, its owner, is collecting so many components, I'm not sure. It's getting late. Let's set up camp for the night. We'll explore further tomorrow after a night's rest. Hey! Over here! Come on, you big lummox. Raise your head and look up. Let's set up camp here.
Alright, Paimon also thinks it's a good spot.
Oh. Any particular reason?
This place is perfect to put up a big tent. We can also set up a cooking pot and cook tons of delicious food.
You're not wrong. But the primary reason for choosing this place is because its higher elevation keeps us away from the water vapor below. Rainforests are very wet. You should always be careful when spending the night in damp places. For the next tasks at hand, let's divide and conquer. I'll set up the tent. You'll be in charge of making the fire, and Paimon will forage for edibles nearby.
Leave it to Paimon. Paimon's a pro.
I'm not expecting that much. Just do what you can. That's right. You can use rushes to start a fire in the wilderness. Their piths are relatively dry and can be readily set aflame. The downside is that they produce a lot of smoke.
Traveler, Tighnari, Paimon couldn't find any food. Paimon didn't know that rainforest had so many interesting plants until we came here. They were all sort of weird-looking mushrooms, but Paimon didn't know which ones were edible. Paimon also saw wild berries on the ground, and Paimon was gonna fly over and pick them up, but the dead leaves on top suddenly started moving. It freaked Paimon out.
Those were probably dead leaf butterflies. They camouflage as dead leaves to evade predators. My guess is that they mistook you for a bird when you flew over, so they fled. Little did they know that you were more scared than they were. Never mind. The tent's up, so you two go rest. I'll forage for food. Oh, you found some already.
Hey! Paimon understands it this time. Mechanical parts again.
Sorry, no part this time. That task wasn't important enough. If every little thing resulted in a reward, then it might start to take advantage of the system. I'll note little things
Crab?
like this and give a cumulative reward at a later time. That is one reason.
Mechanical part?
It just wants a part. Oh, it's so sad now. Give him a part, man.
Some further thought, it might come up with some weird misunderstanding if I don't give it something. All right, here's another for you. I'm off to prepare dinner. We'll take shifts on lookout duty tonight. You two can sleep first. I'll wake you up later.
We need lookouts?
Yes. Even though most animals fled because of the ley lines, we can't completely let down our guard. It's settled then. I'll set up some pest-repelling devices so, poisonous insects don't come crawling into the tent. Have a good night. Not too good, though.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm not locked anymore. We'll leave Tignati here. He can just kind of vibe. And now we can go to the actual main quest. Yeah, he can just vibe. I trust him. He'll be fine there. He's camping. Until this story decides to randomly tell me that someone else is busy or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Be like, actually, you have to go to Alhaitham's story quest? And I'll be like, fucking goddamn it. Oh, Miss Nahida.
I'm done with the parts that needed my involvement to complete. Although it's my first time working with the Akasha like this, its internal structure and operation procedures are easy for me to understand. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's design is truly brilliant. Oh, also, this is for you. Huh? What's this little floaty thingy? It's a small device I put together just now. You can think of it as an upgraded Akasha terminal. You may not need it right now, but it should be helpful in certain situations. Wait! This thing has the same characteristics as Paimon! We're both small things that float! Oh, all the things that make Paimon special got copied! When Paimon appears with the Traveler from now on, people won't remember Paimon because she isn't unique anymore! It's alright, Paimon. It can't replace you. It's only a flying device, but you're the Traveler's irreplaceable friend. You're so good at comforting people, Nahida. If only the Traveler was as smart as you. I was simply telling you what I feel to be the truth. I wasn't trying to comfort you. Nahida, you're natural at this. What you just said made Paimon even happier. By the way, there's something I need to confess. Even though I'm the Archon and in control of myself again, I'm not very good at fighting. You may have heard that an Archon's power is derived from their people's faith. However, I'm not as well loved as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. If we get into a situation where combat is our only option, I'll have to count on you, and I'll do my best to provide support. I'm glad I can rely on you. So the God of Wisdom isn't good at fighting? That actually sounds about right. I've located where the false god is. Time is of the essence, so let's skip to it.
Quit following me.
Scaramouche has something to do with Sumeru's quest. Well, of course he does, but like...
Yeah, he's, like, the final boss of Sumeru's, like, quest line.
Oh, right, you haven't finished his part yet.
Exactly. Okay, yeah, so I just need to go in here. Yeah, oh, I think this is it. Yeah. This is the boss fight.
Oh my god, alright.
I'm gonna try it with this team.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is pretty good timing if you wanna try a team that you're still experimenting with.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna try with this team, and if it doesn't work out, I'll go over to my Tartaglia team, And if that doesn't work out, I'll just bring out Ito.
Yeah.
That's my game plan.
The sages wanted to realize their god creation plan without being discovered. The safest and most convenient way would be to build within the academia itself. That's true. They were already hiding one god, so why not two? Judging from the structure here, the project is a huge undertaking. The sages really saw the god creation plan as their ultimate goal. But this place doesn't look like it could have been constructed by the academia alone. The Fatui under the Doctor sure didn't hold back. They provided a lot of technological support. Yeah, or else they wouldn't have been that generous. Is that it though? I've always felt that this Doctor is different from the academia sages. He doesn't seem to share their sense of urgency. Instead of being interested in the end product, it's like he's enjoying the experimental process. Fatui Harbingers are all such weirdos. So, the Doctor being weird is actually normal. So, this Fatui that they're trying to turn into a god is called the Balladeer? We had previously come into contact with his consciousness. He harbors particularly strong obsessions. One is the desire for a gnosis, since he was created to be the vessel for one. The other obsession is probably related to his past. I can't quite explain it. Paimon knows that he was a prototype puppet for the Raiden Shogun before he became a Fatui Harbinger. That's why he wants a gnosis so badly. There's no way he'd willingly be a test subject. Now with that temper and ego of his. It sounds like you know the Balladeer quite well. I see. Tell me more about him and what he's like. The more we know now, the better we can plan for and react to any future situation. I see. How fascinating. Alright, time to go. Let's get through here and meet him in person.
Alright. Moving right along. Oh, I get to do little combat trials.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, I think this is gonna work really well. Oh! Fuh! Never mind. Never mind. Wait. Okay. I really thought it was telling me to, like, go down, and then it would, like, teleport me to the next area. No.
You were wrong.
I was wrong.
We can climb up these pipes.
Scaramouche, did you do the dishes? Thought you wanted to do them.
You were wrong.
Wrong.
Well, this looks like where a boss fight's gonna happen. Maybe.
On the ground seems all messed up. Let's go around and see if there's a way to fix it.
Boss fight vibes.
Boss fight vibes. Oh, okay. Oh! Damn it. Alright. I'm gonna try that again and be less stupid.
It seems to have stopped. Let's continue.
Okay. Here we go. I don't think this is where I need to be, but I can go up here. Aha! Let's see what killing you does. Okay. Ah, okay. Ah. Nice. Okay. So we go up to the next thing now. There we go.
You dare to gaze upon me? Let's light it up. Go in.
Oh, another one.
Fallen leaves adorn my not good. Rain outlines your face. Behold.
It's an interesting choice that they decided to make the Scaramouche Animo.
Yeah. So it didn't come like fully out of like left field for him to be Animo. Because
Okay.
like he's based on different he's based on a certain like part of mythology from Japanese folklore. So Raiden Shogun is based on a god called Raijin, and Scaramouche is loosely based on Fujin, who were brothers.
Okay.
And one is the god of, like, lightning, the other is, like, the god of thunder, or the god of, like, wind. Whoa, fuck. Oh my god, I keep beefing it almost.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why Scaramouche being Animo didn't fully come out of left field. Because, like, yeah.
Didn't Inuyasha also make a reference to those two?
Yes, I believe those are the, like, lightning brothers that they fight, like, super early.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's when, like, Shippo's introduced.
Yeah.
I wonder if following this into this, like, next area is gonna do anything. I feel like it's not. Okay, so let's try to not be stupid about this time. But yeah, a lot of people really thought he was gonna be Electro for, like, all of the many reasons he would have been Electro.
Well, yeah, because he had the Electronosis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he briefly has the Electronosis. His whole, like, Harbinger costume was all kinds of, like, purple. Okay, now I can get on this and not, beef it. Alright, cool. And there's a chest over there. Nice.
Shit.
Alright. Okay, so there's that, and there's one more I have to rotate.
Dayton.
They're gonna keep just playing me for a fool. Oh, it's up there. They can't keep getting away with this. They will.
Can and they will.
They will. They will because it's funny every time.
It is funny every time.
I'm gonna rotate that. And just see. Is there something like behind this that like I want? I think there is. I feel like there is. Okay, and then that's gonna do that. So I just want this to go here. Okay. And then, wait, no. Okay, yeah. Because I feel like there's a secret behind there that I want, so I just have to wait for this to, like, go this way. Just a long waiting game, though. There it is. Okay. Go, 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 go. Okay, so that's where I want to go. It's over there. And then back behind here is nothing. I did not need to do this. Okay, well, now we know. Why are we not... Why aren't we moving? Ah, damn it.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Please tell me this is gonna, like, come back this way. Or, like, another one's gonna... Alright, let me get on. Okay, thank you. That was so mean. Just took off without me. Alright.
You're dead. Wind strike. Unsightly insects. As one with wind and cloud.
Rain outlines your fate. Rain cut.
Wind rises.
look at this guy. I think this will be the last one. There we go. Oh, there's still more.
And November rain is over.
And now what?
It's not. What was that?
I was asking what you were saying.
Hey, November rain is over.
No, it's not. There's more.
There's more.
Okay, last one. There we go. We did it. Oh.
Falling into the abyss.
I can't believe that killed me.
Killed you?
Yeah, there's a weird, like, lag time in Genshin sometimes between, like, a thing happening and it deciding to play you a cutscene about it. So, I finished the little, like, challenge it gave, the little puzzle, and then, like, the opening under there opened up. So I jumped off so I could fly over. But after I jumped, it was like, no, here's a cutscene, actually, about it opening up. Because I need that for no fucking reason. And, like, as the little cutscene was playing, it played Scaramouche's little, like, dying voice line. Because they were like, no, you have to die now. And I was like, okay, yeah. Sure. I guess I have to die now.
Looking at its operational status, we must prepare for the worst. The god they wanted to create is likely close to completion or already completed. Oh no! What should we do? Paimon can't imagine how hard it would be to fight against the Fatui Harbinger with a Gnosis. Are you nervous, Paimon? If you really want to know, of course Paimon's nervous! Aren't you too, Nahida? Yes, I am. This is probably the first time I faced with a calamity of this degree since my birth. I feel not just nervous, but curious as well. Curious? Curious about what? Curious about our fate. To me, everything we perceive in this world, everything we learn, and everything that happens to us is considered knowledge. And if it's a form of knowledge, then it can be understood. However, only fate is about that which has yet to occur, so it has always drawn my curiosity. So to me, fate is the ultimate knowledge. That's also why I love observing humans and all the things that happen to them. It all brings me great satisfaction. And now, at long last, I'm not just an observer anymore. I will personally experience my own fate with you by my side. Isn't this such a wonderfully exciting thing? Ah, so that's what you... Paimon thinks she understands what you're feeling. Agreed. Okay, let's continue on. I can sense his aura from here.
Alright. I think this is it. Oh, here we go. Pre-rendered cutscene. There he is.
thought the world would be so eager for my birth. I remember you, Booer, the god of wisdom, and standing beside you, the traveler.
Is he all-knowing and powerful now like Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? No, I can't feel the same kind of divinity I felt from the Greater Lord. It seems that the sages didn't get the chance to infuse the divine knowledge capsules into him. But even still, he has undoubtedly become a true god now. So we're too late? The Balladeer has already become a god?
The Balladeer. A long bygone title. When my spirit ascended to divinity, I felt as if I had existed for the same number of epochs as heaven and earth. Looking back, the existence of what once called itself Kunikazushi appears infinitely small and ugly.
Imposing aura. It really feels like a god's. A body that capitalizes on the Balladeer's original construction as a mechanical puppet, with the Gnosis serving as a constant power supply. How much effort and resources did the sages put into this? From a purely technological perspective, it's a commendable achievement indeed. It's no exaggeration to say, this is the culmination of human wisdom. You sure are something! Dishing out compliments at a time like this? But I don't think he's reached the spiritual height of a god.
Strife is engraved upon every god and every gnosis brought forth into this world. Can you feel it? The exhilaration of such power, and the thrill of anticipation for our contention.
Nahida wouldn't feel the same things as you!
Do you not realize that you are interrupting a conversation between gods? Lowly creature, know your place.
The strife engraved upon a gnosis. You're talking about the Archon War. Teyvat's current peace was not easily won. I didn't personally participate in the Archon War, but the way I see it, all those losses were meaningless, driven by the demands of the laws. There's no point in bringing it up again.
Is that so? Yet I am deeply disappointed that I was never allowed the fortuity to personally participate in the Archon War. This is a first. Encountering a god in this world who does not crave power. No wonder your own people have abandoned you, god of wisdom. Your judgment is as your existence, unsubstantial. This is where everything ends, Booer, the god of wisdom. You should know that wisdom cannot solve every problem. Like now, where your only option is to face me in combat. Come! Let us reenact a scene of the Archon War. Come and inaugurate my birth as a god.
Alright, fight time. Go. Oh. Maybe hitting the right buttons would help. There we go.
Insignificant pest.
I didn't read what that little thing told me a second ago. Okay, this isn't going so bad.
Feeble human.
What does this thing do? Oop. Oh, this thing's fully charged. Okay. T? What? Fuck.
At my command,
oh, that can heal me.
You
Neat.
shall fall.
Insignificant pest!
And I think I'm almost done with this. Okay. Ow.
Feeble human!
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that was not too bad at all. I feel like there might be more stages to this. Yep, there it is. Now he has legs. Phase 2!
Alright, that's kind of a neat design.
It's a really fucking cool design. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Burn to oblivion!
Okay, so this is not working. What is this right here? Hang on. Ah, okay. What's my goal here? Hang on. Whoop. Where are you? You're over there. Oh, now you're over there. Good lord. Okay. Can I attack you?
Tremble!
Time to act.
Yeah, that's not doing anything. There's something I'm missing. Okay.
Reality is pain!
Oh, no, it's just I'm supposed to, like, not be able to do that. Cool.
This is supposed to be a battle between gods, yet you choose to hide behind a mortal. And now, you're acting like you'd sacrifice yourself for a human. Are you having fun proving a false sense of heroism to yourself, Brewer?
The data collection is almost complete. Do you even know how many times you've tried to take my gnosis from me? We just concluded the 168th loop. Did you know that in the effort to create you, the people of Sumeru were forced to live through the exact same number of Sabzeruz festivals and Samsara cycles?
The power of dreams. When did you use it on me? You can't even defeat me in a dream. What do you hope to achieve with this little trick?
Come, Traveler. Just like before. Allow me to awaken the memories in your dreams. All that battle experience! It's more than that. Compile everyone's wisdom in the name of the Archon. That is the original function of the Akasha. I've sent everything that happened just now to the people of Sumeru in the form of knowledge. I've asked them to help you find a way to defeat the false god. Now, all of Sumeri's wisdom is at your disposal.
Meaningless tricks won't save you. Are you done with your tricks? Can I finally take this as a real battle between gods?
I'll leave this to you. The first sage of Bur.
Oh, I get to use Nahida in this one. Okay.
Oh. Cool. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because I mean, you got to use Venti in
Yeah, but not during. Well, yeah, you got to use him in the Storm Terror fight.
Yeah. But it's like they haven't done that since.
Yeah, they really haven't done it since, because like you don't get to use Zhongli during the Tartaglia fight.
You don't.
But like for obvious reasons.
Yeah, because like Zhongli kind of.
Yeah, Zhongli is not like involved in that enough to want to fight.
Yeah. He's still not involved.
Yeah. He's still trying to stop everyone from figuring out that he's the Archon.
He's doing such a bad job at it.
He's doing a really bad job about it.
He's just still wasting away again in Margaritaville. Like,
honestly, mood. I wish I was wasting away in Margaritaville.
So, fun fact about that, what I didn't know, and it should have been, like, obvious, like, duh, right? Is that the United States Federal Archive and, like, Library of Congress, have, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's an archive of audio.
Yeah.
For preservation. Like, iconic songs,
yeah.
Probably the moon landing audio.
Oh yeah, anything like that.
It's all preserved. And they're constantly adding to it.
Yeah.
Recently they just added the, they just did like their additions for the year. And they added one Margaritaville.
Wait, what am I aiming? What am I holding? Oh, there we go.
Ah, there you go.
I think? I don't know. Maybe?
So yeah, one, they added Margaritaville.
Okay, cool. So I failed that. Well, no, okay. He just beat me with that thing, and I got a free achievement.
Well, that's kind of neat.
One way to get an achievement.
Yeah.
Good work, team.
They added the very first recording of a mariachi band.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And for the first time ever, they've added a video game song. Can you guess what the song was?
I don't know. It was Super Mario Brothers?
It was.
That makes sense, yeah. Because that's a super iconic one. That makes sense, because that's like what they're going for, is things that are like intrinsic to whatever the genre is.
Yeah.
To culture, yeah. God damn it, he's over there.
Reality is pain.
But yeah, that was... it was the Mario theme song. Yeah, like it should have been obvious. Like it was either gonna be that or something from Pokemon, right?
Or something from Pokemon or Zelda. Regardless, like 99% chance something from Nintendo.
Yeah, like I would even say like even Pokemon is by far more culturally embedded,
Filthy humans.
at least in the US, than Legend of Zelda.
Oh yeah. Easily.
As much as I love Zelda.
Yeah.
And it does have exceedingly good music.
Oh, at this part.
No! Wait! Please! Anything but the Gnosis!
Buddy,
Yeah.
you should have thought of that before you...
I'll never go back!
There he goes.
There he goes.
There he goes.
Just fell like a bag of hammers. No one caught him.
The answer to the most important mystery.
No, he
Irminsul's
deserved
still
that.
waiting to be saved. With the power of another Gnosis, we may now finally understand the last memory of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. This is... That's right. This is the last memory of my predecessor. This sure seems very different from what Paimon imagined. Shouldn't Irminsul be in this realm of consciousness? Yes, that is our destination. But I didn't expect the remaining consciousness of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata to be as polluted as this. Forbidden knowledge? It seems you know about a concept that even I don't completely understand. Could you tell me what you know? Your inference seems logical enough. Forbidden knowledge once polluted the desert thousands of years ago, but was successfully repelled thanks to King Deshret's self-sacrifice, and Greater Lord Rukkhadevata nearly exhausting her power. Then, a second instance of forbidden knowledge pollution occurred during the Conria Cataclysm 500 years ago. But I'm afraid it is much more serious this time, with Irminsul itself already in danger. So, if we're in the remaining consciousness of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, and it's also been affected by forbidden knowledge pollution, then does that mean, in order to save us, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? Yes. It's very possible that she sacrificed her life in the fight against forbidden knowledge. She didn't completely eradicate forbidden knowledge, but if it weren't for her actions, the pollution would have been far more rampant over these past 500 years. The way that everyone, including me, has forgotten everything about forbidden knowledge may very well be due to her restoration of Irminsul. Do you feel sad, Nahida? I'm just sharing her pain. The pollution of her consciousness here is severe. There is madness, chaos, and pain all around us. Did she fight to resist the forbidden knowledge pollution in such terrible conditions, all the way up to her last breath? She even used her last remnant of lucid consciousness to leave a clue for us to follow. Yes, her words records were distorted by forbidden knowledge, so that's all we could hear. But now, we have a chance to find the answer to this mystery. We can cross the polluted consciousness until we found the right path to meet with her lucid consciousness. And then, we'll let Greater Lord Rukkhadevata tell us the truth in person. Each of us need to be mindful of the state of our own consciousness while we are here. Even with the Gnosis' protection, we must always keep a clear mind. Otherwise, we could go mad at any moment.
That's so scary.
Don't worry. It should be easy enough for you to keep that mind of yours clear, Paimon. Let's go.
In the air?
Oh.
Why is there a huge boat?
That's not how boats work.
Which symbolizes reason here. Its course is the direction our consciousness is traveling towards.
Checked.
What are these? The monsters seem to have been affected by them.
Everybody stand!
Clouds high. The birds call.
Let me lead you.
Wind rises.
Alright, it's this guy and then this guy.
Wind strike.
There we go. Wait, I need to go over there. Is there anything up here? No, okay.
Time to go. You dare to gaze upon me? Swarm fury. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
No, my soul.
Wind rises. Wind strike.
Teamwork is strength.
Swarm fury.
There we go.
Fly?
Yeah, Skarmouche.
Yeah.
Yeah, his like skill lets you enter this state where you just like hover and you can like go up and you just kind of fly around. It's really fun. He's a very fun character. He's got a neat kit.
Fascinating.
Let's light it up.
Wind rises. Wretched vermin. As one with wind and cloud. Behold.
I guess there's just this guy left. Oh, oh, that thing's left.
Bow your head.
Everybody stand back. Let me lead you abreast.
Fallen leaves. Adorn. The wind rises.
To control the boat of consciousness, we need to find the helm first.
Quit following me.
It changed direction. Are we still going the right way, Nahida? Mm-hmm. Judging from the current route, the bolt of consciousness will soon take us out of here.
Okay, we just get nice boat time with Nahida.
Destination soon. How are you feeling? Are your minds still
Did you want to
intact?
go?
I don't know where we're going.
Huh? But everything's been completely normal for Paimon. Hopefully there won't be any more interruptions. This time, we should be able to meet Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Are you saying you've never met Greater Lord Rukkhadevata before? No. It seems that my birth and her death took place at the same time. Otherwise, I think she would have given me a little more guidance, and I could have done a better job. Hey, you've done a great job, Nahida. Let's get out of this creepy place and go meet her. So, is this the place you were talking about? The base of Irminsul?
Oh, we're back at the tree. I'm not even allowed to run.
So you want to go till like 6:30?
Yeah, I'm gonna go till like 6:30. I'm gonna see if I can like finish this because I know we have D&D at 7.
I think we're starting that at 8.
I think Sarah said 7 a minute ago in the chat.
Did she?
I'm checking too.
Yeah. The ball at 7.
Yeah.
The one standing over there is that Moon? She looks exactly like me. Are you Greater Lord Rukkhadevata?
Yes, that's me. Are you surprised by my appearance? Irminsul and the surrounding lands have been reproduced here as they were years ago. But this is just a realm of consciousness. We are manifestations of the same nature. Hence why we would appear exactly the same.
We're of the same nature. Why?
Because you are me, and I am you. You are me in the new samsara.
The new samsara?
As Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, I'm the avatar of Irminsul. And you are the purest branch snapped from Irminsul. Imagine it this way. Even if a tree dies,
You okay?
its branches will eventually take
Oh
root
yeah,
and
that's
grow,
Nikki.
continuing the tree's life in another form.
Messing around with her dresser.
Gotcha.
The real me has presumably died a long time ago. Judging from your appearance, I've probably been dead for 500 years. But you're finally here. My new
We're
self
starting
in the
D&D at 8,
samsara.
right?
Sarah said 7.
Katie and I are also questioning her.
I know usually we do 8 for y'all's campaign, but like...
If this is true, then am I going to be a great Archon like you someday?
Though we share the same nature, our fates are bound to be different. All things have their own fate. When a branch grows into a mature tree, it won't be the same as the original tree.
That's why fate is the ultimate knowledge, isn't it?
That's a great insight. Yes, very good. It's also precisely why you won't become like me.
Really?
But perhaps you may become an even greater Archon than I. I already see a determination in you that I didn't possess in my time. And the future that it leads you to will be yours
Are they
alone.
twins?
No, so the one that's kind of glowy is Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. And
Yeah.
she is appearing identical to Nahida, basically because they're both the Dender Archon, because they have very similar, like essence.
Okay.
So they are two different characters, but they're appearing as the same. Maybe they were just too lazy to make a different model for Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
Yeah,
Sages never had the faintest
that tracks.
inkling of the meaning
Yeah.
of wisdom. Thank you. Nothing makes me happier than discovering that the Archon I always admired was in fact myself in another fate. It's so nice to speak with you, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. I've always wanted to meet you.
The feeling is mutual. From the moment I snapped the branch off Irminsul and created you, I've also looked forward to talking with you.
Could you tell me why you wanted to create me? And what exactly happens when you die?
Ah, I see. You're here seeking answers, right? Everything that day, even the sky itself, changed into a color like this. At that time, the Seven were all summoned to the nation of Khaenri'ah. Except for me. I had a more important task to attend to. I had to protect Irminsul. The disaster occurred together with the pollution of forbidden knowledge. At that very moment, with my consciousness connected to Irminsul, I sensed something was wrong. The pain started to torment my mind. By the time I reached Irminsul, it was already displaying signs of corruption. Had I not repelled the pollution of forbidden knowledge with King Deshret thousands of years ago, I might have felt even more hopeless and lost.
So what exactly is forbidden knowledge?
It's a kind of knowledge that doesn't belong to this world, and a form of truth that can't be understood. It came from the very bottom of the abyss. Even I could never understand it. The world is constantly rejecting it, leading to all kinds of bad phenomena. If we allow forbidden knowledge to pollute Irminsul, I'm afraid the entirety of Teyvat could fall apart.
So, there's knowledge that even the God of Wisdom can't understand?
At that time, I knew I couldn't repel the forbidden knowledge with my strength alone. Which is why I created a device that compiled human wisdom and named it the Akasha.
It's truly the world's most amazing invention.
Thank you. For a long time, I thought dreams were the fruit of human wisdom. Though it was selfish to do so, I borrowed people's dreams using the Akasha. Then I compiled their wisdom and all of my own power.
Well, did it work?
Thanks to the wisdom of the people of Sumeru, almost all the forbidden knowledge was cleared from Irminsul. But things didn't go as smoothly as I thought. I had a terrible headache, which gave me an uneasy feeling. And then I remembered that my consciousness was also connected with Irminsul. It brought me knowledge and wisdom, but vile corruption as well. From the very beginning, my existence had been polluted by the forbidden knowledge.
Oh no. How could that happen? I've experienced that pain in your consciousness. It must have been a horrible experience.
Yes, but my feelings weren't important. The important thing was that even if I died, My existence and everything related to me would continue to exist in Irminsul as memories and knowledge, meaning that the forbidden knowledge couldn't ever be permanently eradicated. And there's no way for me to eliminate myself. It would be a sort of paradox. So, I took the purest branch of Irminsul as my incarnation in the next samsara, and left a trail of clues, all in hopes that you would come here and remove me and my pollution from Irminsul forever.
Wait, no, I can't.
So you realize what that implies. You are very smart indeed. Irminsul has all the knowledge and memories of this world. And as you've realized just now, removing me from Irminsul means I essentially will never have existed in this world. But this is the only way to save Irminsul.
Oh wow.
People love you so much.
Yeah.
And they've missed you so much over the past 500 years. I'm exactly the same. So how can we just forget you like this? Is there really no other way? There must be something else I can do.
You're the god of wisdom, Booer. You should know that there is no other way.
But this is so cruel. I don't want to forget you.
No need to feel so sad, Booer. As someone who delights in wisdom, you should feel joy at finally finding the answer. These are the words in their entirety. The answer you've been seeking all along. Let the world completely forget me. We all nestle under the great tree of wisdom, peering out to perceive the world. From the earth and from the rain, we perceive its wonders, until we become a white bird to perch atop a branch, and finally snap off the most important leaf. Once upon a time, I alone dreamed in this world. In my dreams, everybody would also dream after they fell asleep. Wild and wonderful thoughts would emerge from their minds. Some tumbled to the ground, and others floated to the sky, connecting all things in the world into one dazzling net. Among a plethora of worlds were numerous smaller worlds, all of fate, finding within the tapestry their brilliant glow. I gradually understood that these indescribable and constantly changing things are the most profound things in the world. Only they can completely repel the madness. Only dreams can awaken consciousness from the deepest darkness. I'm the one who posed this question, yet also the one who sought a solution. Saving the world with the dreams of the people used to be my answer. And now, you've also found your own answer, and I shall return all the dreams to the people. Goodbye, people of Sumeru. May you be blessed tonight with the sweetest of dreams.
I'm alright. I'm just a little confused. We've world, right? So why am I crying? I don't know where this feeling inside of me is coming from, but I feel very sad. Just now, we used the power of two Gnosis to successfully connect with the Irminsul consciousness from 500 years ago. Then, we removed the remaining pollution from Irminsul.
Yeah, what's wrong? Weren't you there just now?
Uh-oh.
Huh? That sound. Traveler, Paimon.
I've been waiting here far too long. But finally I have the chance to be alone with you. All the precious time I wasted has finally paid off.
Mr. Dottore is here.
What have you done?
Just a type of sound wave that can quickly put defenseless people into a dream. As I expected, it doesn't have any effect on gods. This is the only thing of interest I found among the sage's research. I thought I'd take it for a little spin. Don't worry. I know you would never forgive me if I actually killed them. I'm here to negotiate with you. Naturally, I won't do anything dangerous that could potentially damage our relationship.
Negotiate with me? I heard you had already left Sumeru. Why are you here again now?
I left Sumeru, but I also stayed in Sumeru. Even the God of Wisdom is restricted by the habits of cognition. How disappointing.
You mean there are many different versions of you in this world?
An astute guess. Even the same individual will have different cognitions at different ages. A long time ago, I made a major decision in hopes of preserving all my perspectives of how I observe the world. Observation is the first step of any experiment, but observing the current world doesn't satisfy me. It lacks an important dimension, that of time. So I saved segments of all my ages and made them into independent individuals. That's all there is to it. Indulge me. How does the God of Wisdom find my method of seeking knowledge?
It's an insult to the very concept of life. Life inherently has many rules and restrictions, each with its own significance and reason to exist. They can't be broken on a whim.
Good. Amazing, even. Indeed, it's difficult for humans to make peace with themselves, not to mention oneself from a different period.
Since you are in the academia, why wait until now to show up? You could very well have stopped us and helped that fake god.
Simple. Let me ask you this. Would any staff member ever help the subject in the middle of an experiment? It was my experiment. So why should I interfere with the results?
The academia saw the plan to create a god as their ultimate goal, yet you only saw it as an ordinary experiment. You really are crazy. If the experiment succeeded, you would have had a new god on your hands. How would you have faced your own god then? Would you still take the same stance? Would you still hold the same view of yourself?
I'm first and foremost a scholar. These results should be left to the judgment of the hypothetical me confronted with that outcome. But you're right. And that's exactly why I'm disappointed with the conclusion of this experiment.
As an individual, you don't have any sense of belonging. You seem to have even fewer convictions than a typical scholar.
Oh no, I certainly have my own convictions. They just don't fit your standards, that's all. Alright, that's enough conversation for today. The experiment is over, and it's time to tidy up the equipment and reclaim any useful materials. For example, the Gnosis. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you're an intelligent Archon. I'm sure you understand the disparity in our combat abilities at this time. Besides, you have no way to use that Electro-Gnosis in battle.
Didn't you say you were here to negotiate with me? Somehow, it's starting to seem like you intend to take it by force now.
I'm merely stating a fact. After all, I'm also a scholar. Naturally, I hope to show proper respect and dignity to the God of Wisdom.
Your hypocrisy is built on absolute confidence. I understand your scheme, but... what if I were to destroy the Gnosis now and awaken the heavenly principles?
Awaken the heavenly principles? Do you think that's really possible?
The heavenly principles have been silent for many years, but the Gnosis are symbols of their control over Teyvat and all the laws. Will the destruction of a Gnosis attract the attention of the heavenly principles? And if so, how do the Fatui plan to deal with the consequences? Do you dare to gamble such a possibility with me?
Gamble? How surprising. I thought you would show evidence or use rigorous reasoning to prove your point. The word gamble is the last thing I expected to hear from the God of Wisdom. But this is a clever move. You must have seen through me when I first captured your consciousness. As a scholar, I respect all possibilities. This has always been my principle and is an essential trait as an experimenter. Indeed, I can't ignore this possibility. So tell me then, what are your conditions?
This foreign Gnosis will only lead to disaster if it stays in Sumeru. But this Electro-Gnosis is the prize I obtained after defeating one of your fellow Harbingers. Now, as the one who initiated this cascade of events, shouldn't you pay the corresponding price?
Price? Interesting. What price would you have me pay?
How about erasing all your other segments?
So this is how you wish to restrict me, the most threatening opponent of the Nation of Wisdom. What you request of me is like plucking out the eyes I have placed in the dimension of time. Segments are extraordinarily difficult to make. They require extremely rare resources and enormous amounts of time and effort, requiring me to destroy them all here and now. Bravo. A suitably wise decision on your part. Yes, how very interesting. Can I assume that you have long been wary of me? Among all the versions of me, this segment you see now is the most selfish. If it weren't me, your idea wouldn't have worked. What did you see when you were imprisoned? You were observing me, and that's how you know I've long grown tired of their doubts and endless arguments.
Like you said, it's difficult to make peace with yourself. Being as smart as you are, have you managed to do that?
I see. If you think all those versions of me are worth a Gnosis, then deal.
You sure didn't hesitate much. Is the relationship between all the versions of you really that bad?
I don't think there's any need to dwell on that. The surplus versions of me can be exchanged for a Gnosis. Do you think anyone can offer themselves at a higher price? Besides, with my abilities, it's only a matter of time until I find better perspectives. Perhaps it's best to say you're just temporarily ahead. But what I'd like to know is, how can you be sure that I've really erased them?
I can see your remaining honesty.
What a ridiculous decision! You can't be serious!
How could I have been so short-sighted?
You think this is the end? Wait, I'll have my revenge!
You'll make this moment count.
You will regret this!
Well, have you confirmed that it's complete?
Here, take it. The future of Sumeru City will be in my hands alone. I will shut down the Akasha and let curiosity and the thirst for knowledge drive the realm of academics once again. There won't be any further gaps for you to exploit.
It truly pains me that my academic achievements have never been appreciated in my homeland. Of course, I have no interest in being rejected by this city for a third time. Another chess piece. And where is your Dendronosis?
Don't be greedy, Harbinger of Snezhnaya.
No, this is a different transaction. If you intend to turn off the Akasha anyway, then there's no...
Oh, I think Lexi just got here.
Gnosis of Sumeru is there.
So is the doctor from Sumeru?
I believe he is, yes, because that's what he just implied, that this is his homeland. I know he was a student of the academia for a while, but he was, I believe, expelled after he murdered one of his classmates. So, as much as he's like, I'm an academic, it's like, he's a fucking undergrad. It's like Victor Frankenstein, who dropped out of college to go build a guy, and acts like he's some kind of genius.
Actually, he's definitely inspired by that.
Oh, absolutely. That's gotta be, like, one of his inspirations at least, if not, like, the main one.
The skies of Tevat are fake.
Oh, they're talking about the fake sky again.
The secret hidden by Irminsul concerning the truth of this world. Once I finish telling you about this, it will be time for me to say goodbye. With negotiations, we've all gotten what we wanted. I'm very glad I got to meet you like this.
Your arrogance may know no bounds, and convictions may mean nothing to you. But I'll still listen to what you have to say.
Several days later. So now Nahida knows the sky's fake.
No.
Do what?
What does that mean, though?
There's a million theories about it. I've briefly talked to you about it. It's the, like, Tevat is upside down theory. But it started way back before we even started the game, because the, event where Scaramouche was first introduced as a character at all.
Yeah, he said that, I remember.
No, you're fine.
Well, I am, but...
Welcome in. I'll go.
I ordered Chinese for me and Lexi, and they gave me an extra sesame chicken. Like a whole extra serving with rice. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want it?
Absolutely. I love sesame chicken.
We'll set it aside for you.
Fuck yeah.
And it came with some fried rice, too.
Aw, hell yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Katie wants the chicken.
Alright, I get chicken.
Okay.
As soon as I'm, like, out of cutscenes, I get chicken. But yeah, when Scaramouche first comes in, like, as a character, it's in, like, a limited time event that is never repeated. Where everyone's running around trying to find these pieces of a fallen constellation. You get to hang out with Mona and Fischl a lot, but it also introduces Scaramouche as an antagonist and tell you he's part of the Fatui. And at the very end of it, you're all chasing after this, like, MacGuffin thing together. and you, like, get to it finally, but Scaramouche is beating you to it, and when you, like, catch up to him, you're like, hey, get away from the MacGuffin item we need, we're taking it, and he's like, yeah, fine, you can have it, I found something way better, or I found out information that's way better than whatever this was going to teach everyone, and you're like, what did you find out? And he's like, yeah, the sky, the stars, it's all a gigantic hoax, a lie. And then he leaves and does not explain. So people have known that the sky is fake, quote unquote, the sky is fake, whatever the fuck that means, since then, since before even we started playing. So, like, everything from there has just been, like, theorizing until Sumeru, which kind of does a lot more to confirm a lot of theories that have been going on.
Yeah.
But basically, the sky, or the Teyvat is upside down theory means that, the Celestia is not a heaven allegory, it means that is a hell allegory. Because remember, all of the Archons that have been given power by Celestia all have names like Barbados, Morax,
Yeah,
Baal,
I was gonna say
Buer.
that.
They're named after fucking demons. But they're
Yeah,
meant to
that tracks
represent, quote-unquote, the heavenly principles. So this theory
And there's
also...
one other character
Mhm.
that is named after a demon.
Which, yeah, Paimon. Paimon is also named after a demon. And that's a thing that everyone's, like, still questioning. Why the fuck is she named that? It's definitely intentional. So then this also posits that the force that seems to be the most against Celestia, and also at the opposite side of Teyvat, is the Abyss. So the Abyss is supposedly being set up by the game to be some sort of hell allegory, but because Celestia is supposed to be heaven, and we think maybe it is actually hell, or the evil-like side of things, the Abyss might be some form of heaven allegory, that the Abyss is supposed to be on top. I think Mona's hydromancy also kind of, like, falls into this theory, because in order for her to do her hydromancy, she can't just look at the star. Oh, it's a little mousey! Oh, one for Saber. Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, hi.
Hello, welcome in. Sorry, Lexi just got here. She gave me 2 little, like, hand-sewn mice toys. They're adorable.
Aww.
So I'll be able to go and talk to her in a minute once we're done with stream, which I think I'm going to wrap up in a minute, because we are running short on time. But yeah, so I think Mona's hydromancy also falls into this, because in order for her to do her fortune, she can't just look directly at the stars, she has to look at a pool of water to see their reflection, because the stars aren't where they're supposed to be, because Teyvat is not where it's supposed to be. Teyvat is upside down, and what was supposed to be above is now below, and vice versa.
Right.
So something, the sky is fake.
Huh.
So let me look at where I'm at on questing. Okay, so okay, cool. So I am still in the middle of Act 5, so I think I'll probably be finishing this up in a couple of weeks once we get back to Genshin. Ooh, sorry, hiccuped. But now Kale is... Quest location is currently involved in another quest. Yeah, I have to continue a different quest. Let me see. Oh, I've got 2 different people I need to free from their shit. Okay, suspicious smuggling place and the warm rhythm of the streets. Okay. So I have to start Cyno's quest and do a little more of Nilo's quest. So I will probably try to do those a little bit, like, off-screen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a lot of quests I need to do, and I just got shit to do, you know? So, I'll do that between streams and get us back to where we can actually for realsies finish this. And we'll do that next time on Genshin Impact.
Next time on Genshin Impact. Alright, well thank you guys so much for joining us. Hope you've been enjoying the stream. If you haven't done so already, as always, make sure you've hit that follow button here on our Twitch. Check out the links in our Abouts page. Subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're following us on Tumblr and on Twitter and on TikTok. That way you'll always have all of our funny little highlights and know what's going on with us. Like, subscribe on YouTube. Let us know that we're making content that you want to see. And with that, Have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there. We love you. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.